The 49ers are handing the keys to Jimmy Garoppolo with an eye toward the future. The Jimmy Garoppolo era begins Sunday in Chicago for the San Francisco 49ers. It is an era that presumably will last longer than the 5 games that are left in this season. So, in truth, what happens during the remainder of the season actually means very little. The 49ers are 1-10 and headed nowhere but home at season's end. After trading a second-round draft choice to the New England Patriots in October for the highly regarded backup to greatest-ever quarterback Tom Brady, it stands to reason that the 49ers will use their franchise player tag to retain Garoppolo in the offseason if they cannot re-sign him to a long-term contract to keep him off the unrestricted free agent market. That remains likely whether Garoppolo thrives or fails in the coming weeks. But even if these games and Garoppolo's performance are relatively inconsequential in the bigger picture of the 49ers rebuilding project under coach Kyle Shanahan and general manager John Lynch, all of it still will be mighty interesting to watch unfold. I could tell you at the end of the year what it changed and what it helped or didn't help, Shanahan said at a midweek news conference. But I think it's nice to have him here because you get to know the person. You get to see him on the practice field every day. You get to introduce your offense to him, which he's picking up week in and week out that he's been here. Him getting out there and doing it allows him to get a better feel for it. And I hope that leads to him being better next year and understanding going into the off-season a little bit of what it felt like. Garoppolo takes over this week for injured rookie C.J. Beathard. He has been taking a crash course on Shanahan's offense since the trade. It's a process, Garoppolo said this week. Said Shanahan, he won't fully be there, I believe, until next year. When Shanahan was in Atlanta as the Falcons' offensive coordinator, it took until year 2 of his tenure for quarterback Matt Ryan to prosper. That resulted in a league MVP year for Ryan last season and a Super Bowl appearance for the Falcons. So it takes time to learn the nuances of Shanahan's system, and it will be asking plenty of Garoppolo to demonstrate any level of mastery over the offense Sunday. Until this week, he had precious few practice field snaps with the team's starters. We put in a game plan that we thought he could do. And this game plan is for Jimmy, Shanahan said. He'll work at it all week and whatever he doesn't feel comfortable with and he doesn't get down in these 3 practices, then we'll take it out. Whatever we go in with Sunday, he'll know 100% of it. It will be the 3rd NFL start for Garoppolo. The previous 2 came last season while Brady was serving his 4-game Deflategate suspension. It comes in his hometown. Garoppolo grew up in the Chicago area and played collegiately at Eastern Illinois, and he said he will have a ton of friends and family members in attendance at Soldier Field. I had to put my phone away for a little while the last couple days, he said. I'm trying to focus. It's a great opportunity for us this week. The 49ers can only hope they will have Garoppolo as their quarterback for the next decade or so. But he said at his midweek news conference that he hasn't had that on his mind this week. I'm trying not to think about the future too much, Garoppolo said. I've learned in the past that when your mind wanders like that, quarterbacking in this league is hard enough. So when you start thinking about other things, you're gonna have a tough time. I think just staying focused on the Bears this week I hold myself to a high level. I've been doing that my whole life. And I think that won't stop. Goodell's extension and the owner's compensation committee met this week in New York without officially completing NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell's pending 5-year contract extension. But it is a foregone conclusion that the committee will finish the deal, and there is little drama left in the ratification process now that Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones has rescinded his threat to file the lawsuit. Owners are scheduled to meet December 12 to 13 in Dallas, and there are no plans by the league for another vote of all the owners to be taken on Goodell's extension. They voted 32-0 in May to authorize the compensation committee to negotiate the extension with Goodell, which is to run through 2024. Nothing has changed since then, league spokesman Joe Lockhart said in a conference call with reporters this week. No deal was struck with Jones, Lockhart said, for him to withdraw his lawsuit threat in exchange for another vote of all the owners to be taken. None that I'm aware of, Lockhart said. The Cowboys' triumph Thursday night at home over the Washington Redskins kept the Philadelphia Eagles from clinching the NFC East. The Eagles still can clinch the division with a victory Sunday night in Seattle. No other team can clinch a playoff spot this weekend. How the mighty have fallen. The NFL this week actually flexed the Cowboys-Giants game on December 10 to an earlier time slot, from 4:25 p.m. Vikings at Falcons, and Minnesota currently has the number 2 playoff seed in the NFC, but this is a difficult game, with the Falcons back to playing well. Patriots at Bills, and the division race basically is over, but the Bills have a chance to reach the postseason for the first time since the 1999 season. Panthers at Saints, and first place in the NFC South is on the line. Eagles at Seahawks, and will the Eagles finally have to play a close game? Lions at Ravens, and Baltimore's passing offense is unsightly. Yet the Ravens have a very good chance to reach the AFC playoffs.